Theme 34. Information Technology 2. 1. Prototype. Prototype. Example.
Leland hired Charles Kettering to create a self-starting car, and by 1911, he had a working prototype.
A low-fidelity prototype like this can be useful in testing the structure, workflow, and content of your site or feature.
2. Information. Information. Example.
Well, a sermon wants to change your life, and a lecture wants to give you a bit of information.
So one of the new emerging kind of information technology revolutions that we're seeing nowadays is this idea of augmented reality, right?
3. Vision. Vision. Example.
The moment you adopt that vision as truth, it becomes truth. Mankind decided we will fly, it became truth.
In the first chapter, they say I'm supposed to create a vision.
4. Wireless. Wireless. Example.
So, we built our own towers, created a wireless network, and linked clinics in Lilongwe, Malawi's capital.
We're also, on top of that, integrating wireless networking into an affordable device with GPS and GSM.
5. Labor saving. Labor saving. Example.
I immediately decided we needed more labor-saving machinery. So I rented a digger for Hammond, and I went for something that would humiliate May.
And so it's an example of a labour-saving efficiency. I can turn the pump on by touching that green button.
6. State-of-the-art. State-of-the-art. Example.
The state-of-the-art is what we call myoelectric prostheses. These are motorized devices that are controlled by little electrical signals from your muscle.
He was treated with radiation therapy, state-of-the-art radiation therapy, but it didn't help.
7. Up-to-date. Up-to-date. Example.
Probably we read more than half of the plant animal genomes in the world. Up to date.
Law enforcement must be empowered. With up-to-date internet technology, the devices, and an understanding of these platforms, how they work.
8. User-friendly. User-friendly. Example.
The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly.
9. Scroll. Scroll. Example.
The taller letters have been named gallows characters. The manuscript is highly decorated throughout with scroll-like embellishments.
And you could scroll around and see some of the different airports and the different patterns that they had.
10. Store. Store. Example.
Blockchains allow for us to create an open global platform on which to store any attestation about any individual from any source.
Now I'm going to ask you the bigger question, right? What's in store for the next 10 years?
11. Surpass. Surpass. Example.
No matter how fast the pace of AI innovation, it must never surpass the primacy of human rights.
Fort Lauderdale's wide stretches of white sand surpass those of its southern neighbor and, to some, are the best shores in the state.
12. Email. Email. Example.
John Doe had managed to copy every spreadsheet from this firm, every client file, every email, from 1977 to the present day.
Well, unfortunately, I've got so many Viagra ads coming at me, your email is lost.
13. Smartphone. Smartphone. Example.
As a matter of fact, I'm showing a picture that I took with my smartphone from underwater of a Goliath grouper laying on the bottom.
Will future smartphone owners download a student-built mood app? And will they prefer iteration number 1 or number 2?
14. Machine. Machine. Example.
But that woman was trying to make sense of her life with a machine that had no experience of the arc of a human life.
But they all rely on the 3 basic types of machine learning: unsupervised learning, supervised learning, and reinforcement learning.
15. Television. Television. Example.
The indie world, they started creeping in. Television, they started creeping in. But
you see, I want them to look at a CEO on television and say, I can be like her, or he looks like me.
16. Model. Model. Example.
Mentors have the power to do this in your life. I think everybody here recognizes the importance of a role model.
And that I was following the old model of do, have, be.
17. Message. Message. Example.
If they had similar functions, it might be very efficient to have regulatory controls that made one message.
Message 2 is there's still a lot to do. This is really the tip of the iceberg.
18. Image. Image. Example.
This image is an image of an oyster cart, which is now as ubiquitous as the hot dog cart is today.
And I kind of broke the mold with Sherman. I didn't want to go with this ruthless predator image.
19. Mouse. Mouse. Example.
those materials move up into a mouse. And that mouse material moves up into a hawk.
This is how within like a dozen steps you can go from a cute video of a counting train to masturbating Mickey Mouse.
20. Automatic. Automatic. Example.
That's why it's so appealing to have a Facebook page or a Twitter feed. So many automatic listeners.
And this isn't something youth have to ask for, which is great because research shows that they won't. It's automatic.